That's hilarious.
The one and only. Got pretty much everything in here. Stay strapped.
Hello? Who's this? Oh, goodness, that you? Awesome, can I get it? I'm done raising that little shit. Here's your proof.
Oh, thank God.
Good to see you again. This place is cool. Thanks for the hookup.
Come on, water closet.
Ways is really about fighting for her, about never giving up. Do you think your mom?
Community. That maybe a train derailed or something.
And residents taking refuge at the Amy Community Center after evacuating, reaction to what they saw and heard at the blast site.
Forecast winds where the smoke plume on the fire will be headed. Our local rain chances, impact on temperatures, the timing, and the tropics too.
This is breaking news on WDSU News at 10.
We are doing our best to protect people, structures, and the environment. And all of those agencies are pulling together to do that.
Well, breaking news right now at 10. Multiple agencies on the scene tonight after an explosion arrives at plant intangible hope area.
Yeah, it sent plumes of smoke into the sky that could be seen from miles away. This happening at Space Supply Plant north of Amy. It caused an evacuation order for a 1-mile radius around the site.
but thankfully no injuries have been reported tonight. We do have team coverage for you. We start with WDSU reporter Jasmine Franklin with new reaction, Jasmine, and the very latest on what we know so far tonight about the explosion.
Yeah, well, Sulla and Gina, tonight crews are still working to battle the blaze after a massive explosion at an oil company, and that heavy smoke filled the air, and it definitely left its mark.
All of a sudden, I heard the first boom, and at first I thought it was thunder. It wasn't thunder that Marty threw. Boom, 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 boom. And that was when it let loose there. It was sounds from an explosion at an oil company near his home. This shocking video showing the moment Smitty's supply in Roseland went up in flames. Thick, heavy smoke covered the area and could be seen miles away.
It's all gone. It's here, but yet it's gone.
The explosion mixed with rain led what appeared to be oil fall from the sky, causing the Broussard's outdoor pool to turn black.
I come out here and I see my pool, which I love my pool. This is my paradise.
Now their paradise outside of their rural A-Meat home is charred.
It's going to cost a lot to get this cleaned up, and I don't even know. I've got a garden. I don't even know if I can clean that up. I mean, I'm scared to eat food out of it now. I mean, with all the additives and chemicals they use with that whole products, you know.
Girl.
These parish leaders to issue
Girl.
evacuation order.
Girl, them people got, girl. They gonna have to get bought out, bitch.
They are grateful that as of now, there are no reported injuries.
The best news we have is that as of right now, there have been no injuries in this event, which is a godsend.
And tonight, parish leaders say the exact cause of the explosion is still under investigation and that mandatory evacuation is still in place. Reporting live in Tangible Parish, Jasmine Franklin, WDSU News.
All right, Jasmine, thank you. Right now, people within a 1 mile radius of the explosion, they are under a mandatory evacuation order.
WDSU reporter Shay O'Connor talked to some of those evacuees at the Amy Community Center, and Shay continues our team coverage.
We're here at the Amy Community Center here along the West Chestnut, where people who live within a mile radius from Smitty's, or really anyone from Roseland, are being urged to come here. It's a safe space. As you can see, there's already a lot of people outside. Yes, you peep inside and saw maybe 20 to 30 people inside. Many left their pets at home. Many are wondering when they can go back out. Of course,
Let's get the EMP
just a wait for those
until further notice. And I have with me Russell. Russell, if you want to take a step over here. Russell, if you could tell me, how long have you been living in Roseland? Are you from Roseland?
Roseland, I've been there all my life.
Definitely. Tell me a little bit about what you saw earlier this afternoon.
This is heard a big explosion.
Just heard a big explosion. I just heard a big explosion.
with no obvious signs of tampering, so once it's in place, it shouldn't be flagged as suspicious. Until it's too late, that is. We're providing you with suppressed firearms to make a minimum noise impact when dealing with guards. The rest is up to you. If there are guards in each other's sight lines, you'll need to coordinate your takedowns. Standard procedure for a gang of no-good criminals like us, I'm sure, but I thought worth a mention. This is almost my favorite part of the process, putting on the finishing touches. It's like the night before Christmas, or the morning before a test. Yeah, I got a degree. In prison. The anticipation is killing me, so I guess we're all in danger. Do we have you know we got a good price for it? It's a collector's item.
Community Center reports from Amy Shay O'Connor.
Deputies bombing orphanages instead of sitting in mothballs appreciating value. Meyer does have a questionable human rights record, mind you. So here's hoping he's not just rolling it out for air shows.
And she's worried about the vulnerable.
with how it handled oil and some OSHA violations.
WDSU investigative reporter Aubrey Killian joins our team coverage now, breaking that down for us. Aubrey.
WDSU Investigates dug into multiple records showing multiple issues and violations for Smitty's. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Smitty's latest report showing multiple issues. Their site lists a $250,000 fine. OSHA reps telling WDSU Investigates the last inspection was done in May of 2021. According to OSHA records online, in August of 2020, an employee was struck by a semi and killed.
Girl.
21. There was also an issue with a truck not being in safe operating condition. Smitty's was established in the 1960s. They distribute things like auto lubricants and motor oils. They employ about 450 people. Aubrey Killian, WDSU Investigates.
All right, and weather may have played a role into today's explosion and where the smoke is going from that fire.
Yeah, let's get right to our first warning. Weather Chief Meteorologist Devin Lucy for that. Devin, how could this potentially affect the area?
Yes, Gina, so it could be where the smoke would go. It's going to be worse. At the beginning, at the initial part of this, it was thought that maybe lightning could have sparked this, but I go back to the beginning of the loop, and you can see right now, this is up to the current minute. Nothing is there. We go back to about noon, 1 to 2, rain in the area, but we didn't see any lightning strikes right on there until we got until later. The wind speeds, though, this has been hypercritical into where we've got the current winds at ground level, that when the smoke starts to billow into the air, whether that blows your direction immediately, winds are calm right now. This is typically what we have, but when that smoke going up vertically, it gets up about 10,000 feet in the air. This is where we're going to watch where that smoke plume goes. So as I put this forecast in the future, you're going to find that eventually it's more of a northwest wind as we get into tomorrow morning, late tonight towards tomorrow. So this is going to mean that those areas that are going to be downwind from here, from Roseland, we'll be looking very carefully at those spots. I'm going to outline that for you here from Roseland all the way down, could be into the North Shore here for you. So this will be some of the areas of concern where that smoke plume way up high can still be lingering, because earlier with the rain that came down, that was raining oil.
Well, the Department of Environmental Quality is on the scene of the explosion tonight, monitoring the air. They're working in coordination with local authorities. Officials tell us they are conducting air monitoring on the site. The EPA is also responding with a contractor to provide additional air monitoring support, according to a press release released just moments ago. Officials tell us that there is no indication of any health hazards at this time after conducting the test to the air.
Roseland Elementary was evacuated today. We talked to the Tangipahoa Parish School Superintendent, Melissa Stilley, about how they coordinated the effort to get students and teachers to safety.
We quickly got our school buses to go pick up the students and teachers and faculty and staff there, and they brought them to the central office that's about 10 minutes away. We also sent out messages to all the families that have students there to come, that they could come and pick up their children.
So be sure to download our WDSU app for continuing coverage. It's where you will be alerted first, at the first moment any new developments happen.
A spokesperson for the family of Brian Vasquez tells us there is no longer an active search for the 12-year-old. He has now been missing for more than a week. The family says it is now a recovery mission, and they've accepted that Brian may no longer be alive. This comes as a probe is growing into the NOPD response after he was first reported missing.
Despite extensive efforts, Brian remains missing. This is when we need the public's help.
And once again, right now, they have suspended the rescue mission. As of tonight, it has turned into a recovery mission for the 12-year-old.
Priority 1, tracking the smoke and where the wind directions will push that tomorrow. Then timing our next round of rain, that will have an impact on temperatures, and keeping an eye on the tropics.
Matt right there, always.
When a storm hit, his mother, Brian, recovered.
We were to come outside of our apartment and escape up here, still would have been underwater.
But 20-year-old Willie Giles has seen firsthand the work of his Ninth Ward community to try and recover.
A lot of people are still more shocked on why we're still here, but I try to let them know, hey, this is our home and this is what we do. You know, we're going to keep going, and God is always in control.
He was just days old when the storm hit. His mother, postpartum, recovering from a C-section, had planned to stay.
It is a pretty common thing around this area to stay put during storms. Not a lot of people have the expenses and the opportunity to evacuate. So she had planned on staying here.
However, instead of writing it out, his grandmother wrote in.
She drove towards the storm to come and rescue both of us. When she got here, she's like, look, you got to come with me. The baby's going to come with me, or you can stay here, but the baby's going to come with me because, you know, it's going to get bad.
In the years to follow, he and his family worked to bring their properties back, including the apartment where he was first brought to as a newborn.
I had the faith that believed that we could bring it back to life, and I promised my husband that we can do this.
I've been noticing that Hurricane Katrina has been trending on TikTok lately, so I thought I stayed right down the street from the levee. Why not I just come show y'all the infamous levee that broke during the storm?
And now Will is taking to social media to educate and encourage others to continue that recovery.
Girl, that
we're still here. We're still
that bridge is up.
So y'all, here is the canal. This is where it broke.
Through his channel, he is chronicling how far the Ninth Ward has come, the strength of its people, and the needs that remain.
Who's taking a step forward, keep using their voice, keep using the power and the strength that they have, that God gave them to make moves and, you know, see something they need to get done and get it done.
And for Will, he believes they will keep going. Randy Russo, WDSU News.
Well, 20 years after the storm reshaped our lives, WDSU is remembering by lifting up the voices that rebuilt us. All next week at 6:30, right here, WDSU News at 6. We open the office here. Stories of heartbreak and healing, of failures faced, and communities that forge ahead. 2 decades later, we're still here, still learning, and still rising. Don't miss it Monday through Friday, 6:30, right here.
The bay is near the main switch port for the facility and its primary generator. It's where the EMP will do the most damage, where it's least likely to be discovered. The more damage the EMP does, the longer the lights will be out, and the higher our chances of a successful mission. You only need to take out the guards in your way. All right, good luck.
About 10,000 feet in one direction. Now, I can also show you the airplane. We've got some great data that will actually track that. You're doing well. Keep it up. Yeah, it's essential to show the air quality is too bad. Also, higher slope across the region. Also, show 1 out of 5 slope fire. Even those cases of very small fires, we haven't seen anything here yet. But again, it's about the wind speeds here, so we're going to go really close here closely. And this is the whole gas switch. That's critical, but I like your thinking. So be careful.
Stay quiet and keep moving.
It's easy to maybe go slide up. But this in the future for the rest of the day. Those winds will be up at least 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's going away from there. So we get back to line down the grid. And again, you know, really be careful on what's supposed to be downstream of the safety of the rest of it's in direction that's it's going to rest here. We're seeing 70s outside. We've got some 80s elsewhere around town, around the lake. We have a lot of folks that get there. Let's do this. Yeah, here, it's actually got system of fun. Gave some extra energy to the atmosphere. The system actually starts to west, the one starts to fade. Rain chances are going down this weekend, and you know what that means is rain chances are going down. Temperatures will be going up. So the rain chances the next few days, not very much. I'm going to show you the alarm bells should start to go up with these rain chances next week. Something a little unusual. So only about a 30% chance of a widely scattered storm tomorrow. Didn't see much for the North Shore. A little bit for the South Shore. Temperatures up anywhere from around 90 to 93 to 94. High heat index, of course. Sunday, I didn't see much of a storm either. It's a 20% chance, so that's hard to squeeze that out. 90 to 96 for the highs. We're starting to approach heat advisory criteria. We have the higher humidity. Some forecasts want to drop the humidity a bit. I'm not so hot on that. Yes, late August front. Now we're not really getting cool. We might get some storms Monday night. Lingering front, scattered storms Tuesday and Wednesday. The cool drop that's had to do is just enough to be noticed. You could feel that. Now, Aaron, no longer a tropical system. It is still a really strong storm. Again, post-tropical. Already updated some other forecasts for some other things. Still get
guards between you and the bay. The bay is near the main switchboard for the facility and its primary generator.
Here again, those winds were still very, very strong. Again, I've upgraded some other forecast data for the invests that we're tracking. These two, that's what I'm talking about. In the central Atlantic, the one that's a high threat or a high chance for becoming our next tropical depression, maybe tropical storm, well, it's not going to do anything. It stays east of Bermuda, maybe tropical storm status. It would be fair not if it's named. And then it's out to sea, and then it's farther out into the North Atlantic, so it's of no concern. This is the one we will be keeping sharp watch on for some time. Don't show any organization with it right now in the forecast data. They don't show much either. So the potential of the next few days may be tropical depression at most. Goes into the Caribbean, though. We're going to have to watch as the energy hits in about 1 to 2 weeks from now. Whether that might do something from there, but there's still no immediate concern. It's aiming for the at least 10 days to be. So WDSU first quarter weather 7-day with a hotter weekend. I mean, recognize your criteria with the hottest day of the week reaching from Monday, maybe small storm from Monday night.
Several parades will not hold in Jefferson Parish for the next 2 months.
Between you and the bay. The bay is near the main switchboard for the facility and its primary generator. It's where the EMP will do the most damage and where it's least likely to be discovered. The more damage the EMP does, the longer the lights will be out, and the higher our chances of successful mission. You only need to take out the guards in your way. You're doing well. Keep it up.
It is also fortunate that the schools have been home the last couple of months.
An update tonight. Police now tell us that the search for a missing 12
Only the guys between the gate and the garage are mission critical, but I like your
rescue
thinking.
mission. Not yet
Stay
named
quiet
in a
to keep
public that's
moving.
according to police. Ryan Vasquez went missing more than a week ago before deceased. If you know anything about where he may be, please call police.
Next is sports. The young Saints player made huge strides in training camp. Plus, why Judd Summerall is suited to handle this quarterback battle up there.
Surefire spy new Tundras with 0.8 up the French Quarter. I couldn't have done it without you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for believing in a cleaner, better New Orleans.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you can turn that $200 into something big.
There are multiple Merryweather guards between you and the bay. The bay is near the main switchboard for the facility and its primary generator. It's where the EMP will do the most damage and where it's least likely to be discovered. The more damage the EMP does, the longer the lights will be out, and the higher our chances of a successful mission. You only need to take out the guards in your way. You're doing well. Keep it up. Only the guys between the gate and the garage are mission critical, but I like your thinking. Stay quiet to keep moving. Get familiar with your surroundings. You'll be back here soon. Concentration is key, people. Take an amphetamine if you have one. Visualize your goal. Let's do this.
Zero pressures, zero sacks, zero hurries.
To understand what the alleged classified information is, where it's located, and how it is attached.
Let me know it's okay. Now, just don't mess up and don't make the same mistake again. So.
Installed. Pull out.
Bitch.
I mean, just honestly, me talking to myself and understanding.
Weeknights on WDSU News. Mercedes-Benz of Covington, where luxury meets performance with a wide selection of GLEs, GLCs, and Sprinters. And we're proud to be Louisiana's only 2024 Best of the Best award winner. Mercedes-Benz of Covington, your premier luxury leader.
Don't relax. Good morning.
I mean, I think, it is very obvious that there are political motivations here. And as Dan was noting,
Venture's highest calling. We've built our most capable Subaru yet. Sure-footed, symmetrical, all-wheel drive. 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 97% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2025 Subaru Outback Wilderness. Adventure. Health.
Get 0.9% APR financing on new Outback models during the Subaru A Lot to Love event.
Some guy was texting and driving and hit me. I had to have wrist surgery. I know what to do. I called Morse Park. He got me $225,000.
Over 40 years of winning, over $1 billion won. You know what to do.
Now that you're out of the office, you can get to work. Do more with Labor Day savings from Hurwitz Mints. Save 50% store-wide. Plus, get an extra $150 off or 5 years 0% APR financing. Transform your living room for less. Get this sectional plus ottoman for only $13.49. Take your dining room to the next level with this 7-piece dining set, just $9.21. Get to work and the savings at the Labor Day sale. The savings start early, only at Hurwitz Mints.
Mercedes-Benz of Covington, where luxury meets performance with a wide selection of GLEs, GLCs, and Sprinters. And we're proud to be Louisiana's only 2024 Best of the Best award winner. Mercedes-Benz of Covington, your premier luxury leader.
Tonight, Hammers caught Trump cheating when his caddy dropped the ball into a better spot. It's just refreshing to see someone cheating without being at a Coldplay concert.
Jimmy has Lindsay Lohan. Trickier Friday. With the Whisper Challenge, plus Benny Safdie in the Head and the Heart. Tonight.
WDSU First Warning Weather is sponsored by North Shore Toyota. This is breaking news on WDSU.
Yeah, we continue to follow breaking news right now. A massive explosion at a plant in Roseland. It happened after 1 o'clock this afternoon. So crews have actually been on the scene all night, and they're still out there right now.
This is what we know at this hour. It happened at the Smitty Supply Plant, and state police say thankfully no injuries have been reported. But we talked to people in that area. They say they heard a loud explosion. It rocked the area. We do know that the thick plume of smoke had been seen from miles in the air as some storage tanks at that facility were on fire.
Right, a mandatory evacuation is still in place for those living within a 1-mile radius in all directions of the plant. The Amy Community Center is serving as an evacuation site for those displaced residents and those choosing to evacuate. And of course, the Department of Environmental Quality earlier today said that there is no hazard to the environment or to the air. They conducted a test and the results came back at 0.
That's right. The residents are reporting seeing some type of oily mixture. We'll follow that and have more on tomorrow morning's news at 6 o'clock. Have a good night.
Putting the Womack on them means laying the law down. When I hear put the Womack on them, I know they're going to get the job done.
When you're putting the Womack on them, it's like winning a championship.
Put the Womack on. The Chevy Equinox is more than an SUV. It's your safety check. Well, and your weekend getaway. It's more than an SUV. It's your choice. Equinox or Equinox EV. Or qualified lessee.
And hey.
Get your cameras ready.
Every single species play a very important role in the whole ecosystem. Why wouldn't we want our children to fall in love with nature?
Oh, today's Friday, bitch. Damn.
Don't give up. Let's do it. You can make it. For the people, health and hope.
During the Roots to Go Labor Day mattress sale, buy this Kingsdown mattress any size and get a second mattress free. That's 2 for the price of 1. Buy the queen size Kingsdown for $8.95. Get the second same size or smaller free. Buy the king size, get another king or smaller free. Buy a full or twin size, the second one's free. It's buy one, get one. Plus, get other great mattress buys on the best brands during the Roots to Go Labor Day mattress sale.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering. The ambition to always move this country forward. Get 5.9% APR on GMC Sierra heavy-duty models. That's over $4,000 in average finance savings.
I'm Rafael Romo in Atlanta. This is CNN.
Breaking news, a parole board in California has just denied parole for Lyle Menendez after a 10-hour hearing. He, along with his younger brother Eric, were convicted of killing their parents in Beverly Hills 36 years ago. Their original sentence, life without parole. The brothers have argued consistently that their father sexually abused them. And today, Lyle added his mother sexually abused him as well. After the case captured the public's attention again, a resentencing hearing earlier this year gave them both a shot at parole. But yesterday, the parole board rejected Eric's request, and now Lyle's parole has also been denied. The panel ruling that there are still signs that Lyle poses a risk to the public. LA County DA Nathan Hochman joins me now. Nathan,
What am I gonna eat?
this is the results that your office wanted, but what is your message to the family members who were there?
So my message, I spoke with those family members, all of them, for over 3 hours myself.
I heard what they said, and what I communicated to the family members is that the issue for parole is not never, but not yet. The two things I based it on is in part what the parole board itself based it on. The first was the failure of both Eric and Lyle to exhibit full insight into their criminal actions and all the lies they had told. The central lie being the self-defense defense at trial, and that's a lie they have persisted in for 35 years. That's a line that where they said, and they actually testified to this, that it was not sexual abuse that led them to kill their parents the night of August 20th, 1989. It was the fact that they said that their parents were going to kill them that night, both their mom and their dad, so they had to kill them first. We showed that that lie by looking at 50,000 pages of trial transcripts and interviewing everyone involved in the case. We said that that is an absolute lie. The Menendez brothers bought shotguns 2 days before the killing in a different city under fake names. They had a pre-planned alibi where they were going to see Batman the movie and actually tried to buy tickets for it. They then staged a methodical, mafia-looking type of murder where they shot the dad at the back of his head. The mom lied dying on the ground. They reloaded their shotgun, put it up to her cheek, and pulled the trigger. They shot the parents in the kneecap. They then methodically got rid of all the evidence, and then when it came time to call 911, they screamed, "Someone killed our parents," until they finally admitted it.
Well, the admission at one point, though, yesterday, Eric admitted to one of them that there was no justification for self-defense. Does that admission yesterday change anything in your eyes that move it from not now, but not yet, for full?
Well, yes, his admission yesterday was that in a very cheerful way that he apologized to his own family members for his conduct in murdering his own parents. But the admission that the self-defense defense that he had told for over 35 years would have to imply the entire time.
Your bird is waiting where you left it, just north of the Alamo Sea. You're all flying in together, so you've all got to get over there. I want this operation over and forgotten about as quickly as possible, so the amount you're paid will depend on how fast it's done. I hope money's a good motivator for you.
Rejection of parole for Answer Him. For Answer Him had all the same parole factors as Menendez was. He committed to offense at the age of 25.
Ground team, I'll run you through your specialized equipment for the mission. 1.
Oh.
Night vision goggles. When you trigger the EMP, the lights will come on daily to be able to see. 2. Weed breather. You're going out through a cooling tunnel with the weed breather's cockpit, and it'll give you enough oxygen to make the surface. 3. Flare gun. When you make the beach, shoot a flare and the chopper crew fix your coordinates. 4. Parachute for the drop. 5. A special carbine with suppressor. 6. Pump shotgun with suppressor. 7. Grenades. 8. Sticky bombs. 5 through 8 you should be familiar with already. Pilot, gunner, here's what you're carrying. Parachutes just in case. Grenades just in case. And sticky bombs just in case. And we're giving you night vision goggles too. Okay? Alright. You know as well as I do, this operation is the product of hundreds of man-hours and millions of dollars. Unless you believe in string theory and an infinite multiverse, this is our only shot at this. All that work, all that money, for everything, or nothing. That's a lot of pressure for 4 people.
She's like a jungle.
Pressure can turn shit into diamonds. Or it can turn diamonds into dust. What's it gonna be today? I've got faith in you. As much as you can have faith in a ragtag bunch of reprobates, hastily assembled and motivated solely by their greed. Well, their greed and their bloodlust. You don't talk much. Probably don't listen either. But you're effective tools. Let's see if you can plug
to abide by the rules. And I think that was what the focus of the parole board was, both for Eric and Lyle, each of these situations.
Well, they will both have an opportunity before the parole board, one through the other. DA Nathan Hoffman, thank you for your explanation.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Up next, a very special guest on this Friday night, Dr. Wendell Pierce opens up about the political moment we find ourselves in and his message to the change of new things.
Nothing expected. Whitewash. Facts.
because it makes him uncomfortable. Is reality. It's not a very factual.
I will repeat, and this is you. In the last 5 years, there have been 10 million cases in place of the number of people living in modern safety living. I'm the county director of Ward 3.
I actually was first inspired to get involved in this fight when I was 15 years old, and I had the opportunity to work with children, some as young as 3 years old, who had been rescued from child sex trafficking. I went back and actually lived in Nepal some years later and worked for a survivor leader, Anuradha Kerala, who won a CNN award many years ago, and had the privilege of working under her with survivors of modern slavery. And from that experience working on the front line, I learned the hard way that for every person that is pulled out, another person will go in. Modern slavery is sadly one of the most profitable organised crimes in the world. And it was from that experience that we founded Walk Free, which is an international human rights organisation focused on the eradication of modern slavery in all its forms in our lifetime. It's an incredible honour to receive the Freedom from Fear Award, an award from an organisation, the Roosevelt Foundation, that has such a rich history in international law and rights. Freedom from Fear itself is usually around categorising protecting civilians, but it's an area of modern slavery, but frankly, why is leadership available to you? Allegations of stupidity, stubborn churches,
Oh fuck, I'm the pilot, bitch. Fuck.
Okay, here we go. Pilot's taking the controls. Aerial gunner gets first choice on positions. Side-facing minigun placements are in the rear. High count explosive rounds in the co-pilot's seat. Keep in mind there's a longer fire return interval on that one. Ground team, you take the last two positions of the bird and you get ready to jump. Okay, now fly out to the lab, gaining altitude. You'll need to be high for the ground team to hit their drop zone, and for your bird's electrics to be clear of the EMP. When you're above the lab, we trigger the pulse. Power down there goes out, and the ground team can jump. Chopper team will hold position above the lab, trying to stop the ground team getting swamped inside. Surveillance black spot. I don't want you drifting out yet. When they're inside, descend and provide cover. Ground team, time to switch to night vision.
We don't know about its labor last week. Well, that was just what Tuesday.
While slavery is obviously a horrible aspect of our nation's history, you can't really talk about slavery honestly unless you also talk about hopes and progress. And the case that we hope to see on the sense that
There's movement on the radar to the west of you. Be ready to engage.
tax. There are many cultural institutions, for example, and just in March, wrote said how close will it be to a House Un-American Activities Committee? I wonder, given the fact that there's been a conversation that the president has had about slavery as being focused on as too bad, or it's too little, and we have to have one particular American party line when it comes to the Americans. What do you make of this focus on trying to reshape the system?
My parents taught me a long time ago they do not have the best interests at heart. That is not true consideration of America's original sin. It is behind white fragility and insult to the men that lost their lives. And then when I had that was so beautiful. And the presidents have to whitewash patents because it makes them uncomfortable.
Meriwether 4x4's en route to the lab. Our people inside won't get out if those reinforcements get there.
Beyond offensive. It's an American action. The American idea is we are looking to be a more any serious adult or any serious government, any serious society is able to look at their analysis.
They got the data and they're on the way out. Keep it up.
That's your moment. The economics in the past.
We have lost tracking of the ground team. We can't pinpoint their location.
It's not doing it in the future. And so to disregard slavery is to elevate slavery. It's because you're trying to say what happened was of little significance. We have that problem. If you go on the plantations where they would always look at it as if it's an architectural tool. The house was built in 1845, and in 1923, the scripture was like, hold on, this skipped over a couple of centuries.
Chopper teams and the ground team are swimming out through the cooling tunnel. Their signals will have gone dark, but get ready to pull them out.
That's we're going to tell the true history, and it will become one of the top destination for people coming to see the plantation tours because it gives you the full story.
Yes. It's one of them. Not very complex. Each of these, they work with them on their scales. What would be
Well, it gives us this clarion call for artists really to demonstrate the role. You know, what thoughts are to the individual, reflect on who we are, toss and turn at night, look at our failures, celebrate our triumphs, think about what we want to become. That's what the goal of art is for society as a whole, entertainment of art. It's not the purpose. It's the place where we come together as a community, as a society, reflect on who we are, where we're supposed to go, what our values are, and that we can act on those values. Those who do not have our best interests at heart, everyone to stop that nonsense. I want to control you. That's what the authoritarian government does. Control the narrative running through happiness. The first thing they do is take over television stations, radio stations, as they want to control the message and the narrative of what's happening. And it's artists who always remind the community of what our true values are.
We're going to put right here, or my conversation after 50 years.
He's one
Stories that captivate some unique perspectives. Singers and people in Africa use their extensive experience to cover work news with passion and intellect. Singer Chef Neil Rodrigo, weekdays on CNN.
The ground team will send up a flare, give you a visual on their location.
In soon, Nigerian artists bringing gospel music to the mainstream. Africa visited filmmakers on CNN.
Center of local university. Fighting with our society is Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. If you don't get what you need from Congress, can you achieve what you're trying to achieve? We're on in Israel tonight about the Gazans leaving. Where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? I'm Gabriela Frias in Mexico City, and this is CNN. We connect you with stories from around the world. Big talent, big ideas, and all the details.
Let's go. Drop any Merriweather units coming after you, then get out of there.
CNN. This is CNN.
There's more coming at you. Look out. Alright, time's done. Meet my contact at the Land Act Reservoir and you'll be paid. You know, I've lost a lot of operatives in the field. I'm happy you weren't some of them.
What you doing, Gumbo? Where you going?
Bring the chopper in and I'll give you a debrief. You want to be paid, don't you? That's what this was about. Not just the shooting and the explosions. You've done good work, made this country safer. But that does not mean I don't like you.
Born and bred and always figure. Just like everyone else in the community, he is reflecting what happened years ago next time. Hurricane Katrina, barrel of the Gulf Coast, will change the region forever. 1,392 people died in the storm. And the images, so they are seared into our minds. The levees breaking, submerging farmers with 20 feet of water. People waiting for days on rooftops with thousands more stranded at sea. Katrina was a natural and they do CNN original series, Rebirth of the Sea. Explores the rescue of the city built.
Katrina hit the Superdome.
it was a site of devastation. When the Saints came back into that building, and we all saw each other for the first time in a long time, and we had the glorious Saints there, that's the moment where we knew we were going to survive. It was a big, it was a big moment for us. And people in New Orleans remember that very moment. And the Saints gave us that.
Well, stars in the documentary, and I talked to him about
For God's sake, I hope you're professional enough to get rid of the evidence.
rose again.
There were 9 people in my neighborhood of Punch Train Park that lost their lives. So it was neighbors, it was friends, church members. We lived in the city and perished. Then there was the double tragedy of friends in the middle of the night who called, because that's the only time we could get cell service, in the middle of the night. And friends from New York actually called me, and I said, man, we don't understand what's going on here. I said, the city is devastated. Thousands of people are going to die. People are stranded. The federal response is non-existent. And I said, I don't think people understand it. And the thing that incensed me then and even to this day, they said, no, Wendell, it's on television. We're seeing everything. I said, you can't be seeing everything because there's no response. So there's people at the Superdome.
Let's talk about that, because the fact that people were seeing this in real time, and your instance, and I can't believe you're seeing it because the help's not coming.
Right.
Talk to me about the Superdome. For many people, that is really the iconic landmark for many, frankly, in New Orleans. And to have it become what it did, talk to me about the Superdome and its significance.
The Superdome is an example of our failure to treat the best resource that America has, its people, in the way that they should be treated. In this 20th anniversary, we will look back, and rightfully so, look at the resilience of the city and the response in these 20 years and how we are back. But we shouldn't look at it through rose-colored glasses and forget that it was a failure of government, a failure of our levee systems, and an ugly part of human nature. It was the best of times, but it also was the worst of times.
Watching it reopen a year later, did that give the community in Orleans hope?
Yes.
I need her to stop saying that. I really need her to stop saying that. That's not how you say it. That is not how you say that. It is New Orleans. What are you talking about? It is New Orleans. I don't understand what New Orleans is.
It's one of the reasons I'm an actor. That's the role of art, and that's what the Saints do. What thoughts are to the individual. Art is to the community as a whole. It's a place where we reflect on who we are and what we can be and our hopes, and that's what the Saints does. The Saints did then and do to this day bring us together in a way that our differences fall away. They kind of dissolve away, and for that time and that period, the Saints returning to New Orleans let us know that the city will return.
Well, let's hope life imitates art. Artists, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can watch that documentary this Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on CNN. Hey, thank you all for watching. Anderson Cooper 360 is next.
Apple Cinema Live in New York, wherever you may be watching around the world. Welcome to CNN Newsroom. Here's what's up ahead in the next 30 minutes. Audio and also the transcript of Ghislaine Maxwell's interview has been released. Was there a so-called quiet list? What message does he send to Jeffrey Epstein's victims?
Cut it out.
And Israel denies that there is a famine in Gaza, but Palestinians, doctors, and aid groups, they all say that the man-made suffering is likely to spread. And Russia gets more time to consider ceasefire talks. President Trump says that he has other options. It does not imply.
Cut it out.
The war questions and answers after the U.S. Justice Department released an 137-page transcript of a recent interview with Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Julian Maxwell. She's trying to sentence for helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls. During her interview, the attorney there she is. She was transformed. Yes, but now they will expect you if you wish to keep element of surprise. This is what you have learned. As we say in Russia, if you wish to keep surprise, use your mistake. Now, we focus. You are approaching land. GPS tracker confirmed you have position. I will also access outbound CCTV once you are inside.
Linked to certain sources.
And there's this. At the time, Strict mentioned Maxwell claimed to have difficulty remembering key details from her 30-year relationship with Epstein.
I just don't remember what gets caught. I don't remember that. I don't remember him doing either. I want to tell you that I don't remember. I don't remember ever seeing anybody that I would characterize as a child. I don't remember the letter. I don't remember anything.
Maxwell also denied claims that underpin your conviction. She denied that Epstein paid her millions of dollars to remove one book for him, insisting that Epstein preferred their company because they were, she put it, invigorating. Also, up to date on music. She even criticized an anonymous victim who may have been abused as early as the age of 14. And then there's also this other very significant thing in the transcript. Maxwell said that she did not believe Epstein died by suicide. But she also said that she did not believe his death was ridiculous. We are worst thing ever happened to him. Continue our coverage now with CNN's Kirsten.
During the 9-hour interview, Ghislaine Maxwell said she witnessed no inappropriate behavior by any of Jeffrey Epstein's powerful friends, including President Donald Trump and former President Bill Clinton. Maxwell said she never saw either man receive massages by anyone, and she said there is no client list. Maxwell called Trump a gentleman while distancing the president from Epstein.
I think they were friendly, like people are really surfaces.
You did not get sucked into a turbine. I know you will find it. How likely is it that I have two operations in the same way, huh? Now, we look for the vault. Maybe start in the central building.
For instance, actually never saw the president at any time before shooting. I never witnessed the president.
You're in the area where Mr. Rubio's personal bodyguards operate. These men know every soldier under their command. No disguise will fool them.
He was a gentleman in all respects.
Maxwell said President Clinton was her friend, not Epstein's, and while he traveled on Epstein's plane, she said Clinton never visited any of Epstein's properties, including his private island.
So they spent time on the plane together for no reason. There was never a sexual plane. So that would have been the only time that I think that President Clinton could have even received a massage, and he didn't. The sun was there.
During the interview, Maxwell categorically denied any wrongdoing. She admitted she recruited women to massage Epstein, but said none of them were underage. Maxwell was convicted in 2021 of sex trafficking of minors, recruiting, grooming, and at times sexually abusing underage girls with Epstein. She is serving a 20-year prison sentence. Maxwell does not promise anything as part of the interview, but she is hoping for a pardon. Kara Scannell, CNN, New York.
Seems a lot of analysis now of the March Guardian Paris commentator. She joins us live in Los Angeles. It's great to have you. Thank you so much for staying up late for us. Well, I'm still going over many names here. I'm sure you are as well. Maxwell, a big sex trafficker who is certainly less than credible in the eyes of the law. What do you think of Maxwell not only seeking to defend, but also, to her, trying to essentially flatter him?
If you come up against the door you cannot open, I expect you already killed the man with the key.
In context, you had Todd Blanche who was a personal attorney for one dollar transparency. You didn't have those prosecutors that were involved in the prosecution of Maxwell. As Kennedy so resignation being free, what you have her conviction overturned is still in the balance. So she is not going to say anything that implicates herself in where as she is seeking a pardon from him. So this was just a the Department of Justice, I would say, to distract U.S. citizens, Americans from their issues that Donald Trump is facing as president.
When you listen to the transcript, she also said something that is possibly likely to further traumatize that statement that comes out. Play for her as well. A portion of that transcript discusses this.
I think if he had been creepy, as you would define it, you would expect someone who was putting that lifestyle to be creepy. I don't think the women would have been there.
So William Maxwell, they're obviously referring to Epstein himself there. Separate leadership now, she insisted that she's not trying to defend him. Listen to that. Isn't that likely going to be a slap in the face to the survivors, the many survivors of this abuse?
Absolutely. Well, listen, our injury is a slap in the face to those survivors, to those individuals who have been so brave to come forward to tell their story. They have this woman who is a convicted sexual abuser and also was charged with perjury to be defining that they are in terms of what Epstein didn't do is really listen to the victims. And if the jury is interested in learning more about Epstein and the crimes that he committed, why are we talking to those victims? Why are we hearing from those victims now? Maxwell control is there very, very serious case in this victims.
And we've heard from members of Congress who say that they plan to have some of those stories be told on Capitol Hill in the days of things ahead. I'd like to mention the Department of Justice on possible motives earlier. Let's shift now to Rubio's office. That have been demanding answers from Trump, including from the president's own base. With this transcript out there, do you think that it's going to silence them? Or, as we mentioned at the top, that it's only going to lead to more questions?
I think it absolutely fuels the fury and the anger that so many in the Trump base have around the case. The best light, and to paint the president in the best light. This is just not a credible interview, or I think anything that is going to silence those individuals that want the truth about this saga.
And among those individuals, I'm sure it won't be lost on the point that you previously made, which is the prosecutors, the investigators that were involved in the previous case, they weren't there that July, those days in July when this interview happened. So let's keep watching this one, Ariba. But for now, thank you so much for helping us really better understand what this means in many contexts. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, welcome.
Well, FBI just spent hours searching the home and office of President-Trump's former National Security Advisor, John Bolton. Sources telling CNN it's part of a renewed investigation into whether Bolton shared classified information in his 2020 book. Bolton became an intense critic of President Donald Trump after he was fired in 2020. Here's CNN's Tom Foreman with more.
It's like a very quiet person, except on television, you can say something bad about Trump. Not a smart guy. He could be a very unpatriotic guy. We're going to find out.
President Donald Trump's beef with John Bolton has been stewing for years, especially after Bolton's 2020 book described Trump as stunningly uninformed, obsessed with his image, and bubbling through relations with North Korea, China, Russia, and more.
He doesn't operate on the basis of grand strategy or even policy. He operates on the basis of
what's good for Donald Trump. With the 2020 election looming, Trump immediately attacked.
He released massive amounts of classified and confidential but classified information. That's illegal, and you go to jail for that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't always that way. Back when Trump first took the White House, Bolton, who'd worked for every Republican president since Ronald Reagan, cheered the incoming commander-in-chief, in particular for building up the military. Trump eventually tapped Bolton to be his national security advisor.
I have other people that are a little more dovish than him. And ultimately, I make the decision. I like John, I get very good advice from John.
But soon the two were clashing over North Korea, Afghanistan, and the general chaos of Trump's orbit, in which Bolton wrote work was like executing policy inside a pinball machine. Trump had come to see Bolton as too hawkish.
I'd be with foreign leaders, and I didn't even have to act tough because they said, look, man, John Bolton, he's crazy.
A bitter split followed, with Trump's Justice Department launching an investigation into Bolton, which was dropped by the Biden administration and revived in this new Trump term. Bolton has become a media fixture, relentlessly calling out his old boss, even just days ago, after the administration touted its Ukraine summit in Alaska.
I think Trump did not lose, but Putin clearly won.
Of course, there are disputes about whether this book was ever officially approved before it was released, and there are disputes about the meaning of all of this. On the right, there are many who say maybe they're going to find evidence. Maybe Bolton really did do something wrong, and they have to pursue that case. And on the left, say, no, this is really all about Donald Trump getting more retribution and sending a message to anyone who dares to cross it. Tom Foreman, CNN, Washington.
Now the latest on the case of Abrigo Garcia. He's a man who was wrongfully deported to El Salvador. Well, he's now been released from criminal custody ahead of his trial. The Maryland resident, he was arrested on human smuggling charges after being returned to the United States this past June. Yes, we could. That's the chant from his family as they reunited with their father and husband at an undisclosed location on Friday. This is the first time that he's now been in prison since the Trump administration deported him to El Salvador back in March. Prosecutors have portrayed him as a dangerous criminal as recent as Friday, really amplifying those allegations. His lawyers calling those charges and those allegations preposterous. Palestinian first responders say that a series of Israeli strikes killed at least 18 people sheltering in a school in Gaza City.
Ding.
Emergency services tell ECN that the school-turned-shelter was hit by artillery fire. The schoolyard was packed with tents of displaced people.
Yep.
Told CNN that it was not aware of any incident there at the time of the strikes. Now, these strikes coming on the same day that the UN-backed monitoring group officially declared parts of Gaza, including Gaza City, that they are experiencing man-made famine. A report warning that the crisis is expected to worsen and spread to central and southern Gaza in the coming weeks or months.
Honestly, we cannot provide them with any medical assistance because of the lack of medical supplies. All we can do is give them fluid solutions and try to preserve the organs and tissues in the child's body so that the condition does not worsen and lead to death. We've been warning for months that the denial of humanitarian assistance would push children in Gaza to dangerous levels of food poverty. The signs were unmistakable. Children with wasted bodies, too weak to cry or to eat, babies dying of hunger and preventable disease, and parents arriving at clinics without enough food to feed their children. Today's report confirms our worst fears.
The Israeli government rejected the report's findings and claims that there is
hell?
no famine in Gaza, according to the Israeli government. CNN's Nick Robertson with more details out of Jerusalem.
What the IPC is saying in this report is in Gaza, in the north of Gaza, there are 132,000 children under the age of 5 who are at risk of death. Malnutrition, they say there are about 40,000 such children who have severe malnutrition right now, and over recent months, that is a doubling month to month. They say the situation, this famine situation, as they call it in Gaza, is entirely man-made. They say that it is reversible. The Israeli body that deals with getting aid into Gaza says that this report's data is biased, that it takes a slightly and that it is coming from Hamas. They also gave the IPC a briefing prior to the publication of the report, providing them with information that they say that Kogat said the IPC did not use in their report. The Prime Minister's office here in Israel calls the allegation that this is entirely man-made. They say it is a lie. They say it is a lie that Israel has a policy of starvation. Indeed, they say that Israel has a policy to avoid starvation. Point to data they say they have that shows Israel has sent 2 million tons of aid into Gaza since the war began. Despite that, Israel is attracting a huge amount of criticism beyond the UN bodies that support the IPC. In fact, the British Foreign Secretary David Riley, who calls the situation horrible, he also calls on Israel to reverse it and make sure enough aid gets into Gaza. There is not, in the words of David Riley or any other international country, organisation or body, any immediate clarity on what a sanction might be on Israel to get it to come into compliance with what the UN is calling for, what the UK and others are calling for, which is more sufficient aid to get into Gaza. Again, it's rooted in the Gaza that the IPC says can extend beyond the Derry border to the south and the human tolerance to the south of that in the coming months. Not a situation that will get any better, they say, if the current food shortages continue, that it will only get worse. And what's the secret?
Ex-President Donald Trump is still strolling his deadline. Yet, so Trump now says that to make it clear, it will be which is Foreign Minister repeating on Friday that there are currently no plans for a Zelensky meeting. Without committing himself, the U.S. President explained what his next steps.
Yes. Well, they make a decision that you will be. And it's going to be a very important decision. And that's whether or not it's massive sanctions or massive tariffs or you do nothing and say it's your fight.
That last option could be a possible worst-case scenario for President Zelensky. In Kyiv, that president said that Ukraine's future security guarantees across the West must be similar to NATO's 2005, which basically says an attack on one alliance member is an attack on all. Zelensky spoke as he met NATO's Secretary on Friday. Well, 5 people may have been killed and dozens injured in a tour bus crash in New York State. The bus was heading back to the city from Niagara Falls, the tourist destination. At least 30 people were taken to hospitals for treatment. Police say that 52 passengers were actually ejected from that bus. Efforts to free those trapped in the bus continued throughout the afternoon. Interpreters were actually brought in to help at that crash site, as most of the passengers were from India and China, as well as the Philippines. Over the hints at a possible U.S. interest rate cut, the Federal Reserve Chairman sending U.S. stock and bond markets soaring. Those details will bring up after the break.
Is ready to South Korea. She's sent him to work.
where they took care of everything and got to live on her terms. Then, were they simply living?
This is one world. Stories that captivate on two unique perspectives. Zaina Shah and Biana Rodriga use their extensive experience to cover global news with passion and intellect. Zaina Shah and Biana Rodriga, Index on CNN.
Girl, I'm leaving.
These two Nigerian artists bringing gospel music to the mainstream. African Voices Jane Makers on CNN. The whole story is and we are not standing.
Sure.